So I'm here at the Midtowner in, well, some people call it Midtown, some people call it the Alhambra Triangle, some people call it East Sac. I consider it kind of a no man's land between all of those places, but this is Sacramento's latest new budget motel, and I figured I'd check it out. Let's go. One thing they definitely don't tell you until you check in, like if you're booking through like Expedia or hotels or whatever, is it says that the deposit per night is $50, but it's $80. I don't know if that's per night or just in general, but you know, it's an $80 hold on your card if you're expecting that, which is kind of high for a budget motel, to be honest. Even like the nice hotels, usually about $50. And here they put me in this very end of this very Kubrickian hallway, but it's inside. So let's check out the room. It's the same room. Got a king bed. By same room, I mean when I was here last time. And it's a nice big comfy king bed. I definitely slept fine in that. One thing I'm kind of excited about is the neighborhood we're in. I can put my car right here and see it out the window. So let's check out the room. So we've got your typical coffee, basic coffees, microwave that is very dusty, refrigerator, which is nice. Nice and cold too. I've gone to hotels and those haven't worked very well. The TV is an Insignia. When I worked at Walmart, that was definitely a brand that sold a lot. It's got a direct TV box. There's a nice little desk area. We got this bench seat thing. There is no closet in these hotel rooms. There's just this thing, but this thing is actually pretty handy. Luggage holder. You got, you know, ironing board, the basics. It's a pretty no frills hotel room, but it's nice. Whoever painted it seems to have gotten a lot of, oh, that was dust. But so it is a bit dusty. That's okay though. The bathroom has one of these rolly doors, which I'm seeing at a lot of hotels these days, instead of like doors. It's pretty no frills bathroom. It's clean, but somebody, when they painted, they got paint all over the tile. I don't know if it is that clean. No, those are just like scratches and shit. I love these mirrors. It's pretty cool. The mirrors come on like that. And then we've got the thing that I was really excited about, because last time I stayed here, just had the normal one, but I love me a good stand-up shower. It's one of my favorite things about hotel rooms is when they have these. So yeah, not bad. Some water spots, but Sacramento, we got hard water. Hair dryer down here. Another big mirror out here. That's kind of it. Oh, the bedside tables. They've got an old phone. Outlets that have USB, USB-C. That's cool. So outlets on this side. I think they have the same exact thing on this side. Yep. Very dusty. Someone clearly scratched the chair. Someone took the cuck chair and scratched it along the wall. Got one of these old reliables that are always making your rooms either frosty or hot, depending, and you know what, they're great, and that's why every, you know, decently priced motel has them. Fire alarms, sprinklers, the basics. Someone has tried to bust this little door thing in before because it's all tore up, or they just opened it really hard, I guess. So walking down that hallway just now, that one, you can definitely hear people in their rooms. I don't know how that translates to hearing people in your own room, but be advised if you stay here that people can hear you talking or whatever when they walk past your door. It is a no pets hotel, and this door down here at the bottom has a keyed entry. I really love this wallpaper that they have. They have it on every floor. This is the first vending machine I've seen. I did see an ice machine somewhere, but I don't know where that is, and I'm gonna try and find it. brother-in-law has an elevator in his building that never feels like it's a 3-story elevator. It never feels like it's going to open, and so whenever I get into these older elevators like this, I'm a little worried that they're not going to open. I think it's pretty cool that they have a pool. Not a lot of hotels of this range have pools anymore, at least around here. There's also a ton of parking. There's this underhang parking. There's a whole parking garage parking lot over there. There's just a lot of parking. So now that we've seen the room and the property, let's check out the neighborhood and see what kind of amenities are around. Right across the street is the Motel 6. There's literally no reason to stay at this Motel 6 over the Midtowner. They usually are right about the same price, and unless you're a sex worker or selling drugs or anything else, it's not really the place to go. Like I said, it's normally right around the same price. This is the Midtowner right here, this back wall, and this is Habit Burger. So it's like right here. If you don't want to go far for food, it's not bad. It's fairly new. This used to be a KFC. Been a few times. Right across the street too is a Greek place, Jaina and Crew, which is like super fancy sushi. And then there's Obo down there is Italian, and Nitty's Cider is farther down there, which is like a cider only spot brewery. And there's a cool dive bar called Cheaters down there, and a few other restaurants, convenience store, Mr. Pickles, stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff really right directly by the hotel. If you don't want to spend like your entire paycheck on sushi though, right behind Crew is Sushi Cafe, which is like your typical run-of-the-mill shopping center sushi place that's really good. And over there's this cool Japanese sandwich place that's really delicious, and also a pretty good cheap eat in the neighborhood. Right down the street there's also a Jamba Juice that's like 2 blocks away, and like every bank you could want just about is in the area. There's like 4 or 5. There's a falafel corner over here, and this really good taqueria that I like a lot. There's a Del Taco and a McDonald's a couple blocks away too. That McDonald's is decidedly very sketchy. But my favorite place down here in this part of town is Limelight. It's a card room and bar and restaurant, and it's probably where I'm going to get dinner tonight because it's pretty good. And I like me a dive bar. So I wasn't going to walk all the way down here because we're like 5 blocks from the hotel, but this is Midtown Middle School, which used to be John Sutter Middle School, and I recently learned that when they built this middle school in like the 50s or 40s or whenever, it was actually originally the Pioneer Cemetery, and from what I heard prior to that, an indigenous cemetery, and they did the poltergeist thing and just removed the headstones. Apparently a lot of them are used as building material over the years that they've been trying to recover, but yeah, they just removed the headstones from what I've heard. That could be an urban legend, but yeah, if not, that's definitely a haunted middle school. One thing that's really nice being real close to that the hotel is that there is a Safeway right here. So if you're staying at the hotel for like a longer term stay, you know, because someone's at the hospital or something, because the hotel's actually really close to both Sutter and Mercy, and UC Davis isn't that far as well. You know, there's groceries that you can get. The rooms did have microwaves, as you saw, so not a bad spot. I kind of come here a little too much because it's my pharmacy and the closest grocery store to me, and so much so that I get all the hot gas on some of the employees. This Safeway actually used to be the Alhambra Theater, which was this big, beautiful movie palace, and this is kind of all that's left of it. If you go on any like Facebook group or like Sacramento history thing, I mentioned the Alhambra Theater, you get a lot of boomers in your comments talking about how great it was, and there's this big old controversy about and they tore it down to build this Safeway. It was like a Save the Alhambra campaign that didn't happen in the 70s. Now that you've seen the neighborhood and you've seen pretty much everything I think there is to show you in the hotel, I'm going to head back to Limelight and I'm going to have a few drinks and get some food to go and come back and get comfy. I will say, unless you're kind of a larger, more imposing person like I am, walking around this part of town at night isn't super recommended. I'm not saying it's super unsafe. Over by the Motel 6, who knows? But it's not like the best part of town. I mean, if we're going by Midtown standards, it's probably the worst part of Midtown. But it's not like it's the worst neighborhood in Sacramento. It's just be a little aware. Well, I was hoping to get a cool shot of the beam behind the beam mural tonight, but according to Google, the Kings lost pretty handily, so I don't think there will be a beam tonight. Cool mural though. So I'm gonna go in here in Limelight. I've been craving a BLT all day because my father-in-law mentioned one this morning, and I've been doing a lot of hardcore fitness and eating clean and stuff for like months, or at least a month. And so I'm gonna give myself a little leeway tonight and get that BLT. So I'm gonna have a couple drinks, get some food to go, and I'll be back. I think Limelight was ready for that beam tonight too with these purple lights. One thing I really love about Limelight is they've got a card room, and the bartender, who's pretty much, I think, like the only bartender I ever see, he is so friendly. Every time I come in, I haven't been here, I mean, I've been here a fair amount in the 15 years I've lived in Midtown. Like, not enough for him to know me, but I think he just greets everyone like you know him, or like he knows you, which is a great quality for a bartender to have. So I got my BLT. I'm headed back to the room. Alhambra's kind of a little sketchy. In the period of time that I was in Limelight, I haven't been drinking much lately, so one beer and one shot was definitely some good lubricant. I'm gonna head back to the room, get comfortable, maybe take a shower. Have a good night. Someone has crop dusted the elevator. Does not smell good. Well, now that I'm back in the room and a little tipsy, I'm gonna jump in this amazing standing shower. Walk-in shower, whatever. I love them so much. Who doesn't love a walk-in shower? And I'm going to get in PJs and I'm going to get comfortable and we're going to have a fun night. The BLT and onion rings from Limelight look pretty good. I have my alarm set in the morning, so I can show you guys, excuse me, I can show you guys the breakfast. And yeah, see you in the morning. It said it was supposed to be a light rain today. That doesn't look very light rain to me. Anyways, it's 7:30 and I'm gonna go check out this I'm tired, continental breakfast. I didn't sleep great, but to be honest, doing hotel reviews might not be the smartest thing in the world for me because I don't sleep very well in hotels. But it did get kind of loud in the hallway last night around the time the bars closed. The doors definitely are a little thin. But while I was walking past one of the rooms and to go outside to vape, and there was just some panties next to the door, and they weren't there when I got back. I mean, it is a hotel. Pretty standard continental breakfast offerings. You have your not every continental breakfast anymore has this though. Eggs, sausage, okay. Cereals and coffee. To be completely honest, continental breakfast didn't look great. I mean, I'm impressed they have eggs and sausage, but it didn't look like the best eggs and sausage. I have some leftovers in my room, so I'm gonna eat that right back up and go home. I've always really loved that they keep these like mid-century style, almost like bougie style building with like the sharp angles and the stones and the big old atrium windows. This IHOP I haven't been to in years, but I mean it's an IHOP. And it's 24 hours, and it's like the only 24-hour gig in town right now, well, at least in this part of town. So if you're arriving late or leaving extra early, and after you saw that continental breakfast at the hotel itself, I would say go to the IHOP. Yeah, see, I love that. It's cool architecture. I shared a hotel room with some friends a few years ago that I'd never like gone on a trip with before or anything, and I was really happy to see that I'm not the only one that like feels like I need to clean the room before I leave, like put all the garbage and all the towels in one spot. Final impressions of the room is that it was a room. It wasn't bad in any way. Little, dusty in places, and the paint thing I think is funny. But I mean, if you're like a stickler for that sort of thing, then yeah, this particular room has an issue with painting. $339, but the room that I stayed in last time, which was $319, was totally fine. So yeah, I'm all packed up and ready to go. Got my trash together. Doing one last sweep and gonna head the 3 blocks home. Final impressions of the Midtowner in Sacramento, in between Alhambra and 30th on N Street, is that it's fine. Like, it's fine. It's a decent price. The hospital's right there, so like if you need to stay overnight for the hospital, for the loved one or whatever, it's perfect. It's reasonably priced. Like I said, it usually seems to be a little cheaper or around the same price, sometimes a few dollars more, than the really fucking sketchy Motel 6 across the street. Like, that Motel 6 is a lot. Like, I was talking to a guy last night, and he was like, oh, the Motel 6, that place is always chaos, and it is. I mean, when I pulled into the Midtowner yesterday morning, there were cops here, but who knows what they were doing. But last night, at about, I don't know, I was out there at about midnight or so. There was like lights flashing and speaker and stuff like being talked through in the parking lot of the Motel 6. It is sketchy. But yeah, the Midtowner's fine. The room was, I wouldn't say it was unclean, but it was dusty. And the paint thing, obviously, that I showed you, but the surfaces seemed clean. It's I hesitate to use the hotel as shabby, but maybe it's a little worn around the edges. It did get a full remodel within the last year or two. It was the Roy Inn for a while, and when it was the Roy Inn, it wasn't as bad as the Motel 6, but it was close. Like, I came to try and stay one night, and There was this whole thing where anyone that came in my room had to give their ID to the front desk, and there was like glass, and it was one of those. So they've clearly like improved that. The neighborhood, like I showed you, has got a ton of food options. It's also a place I wouldn't walk around in the middle of the night alone. I mean, I do, but you, if you're not familiar with the area. I mean, you can't really. I was $96 to stay for one night. Typical hotel, check-in 3 p.m., check-out 11 p.m. I didn't ask for extended or late because in my experience, the more like budget places, they don't do it. But they probably also have a much smaller staff. So yeah, I hope you liked this review. Like and subscribe if you want more. I'm going to do more. There's going to be a lot more hotel reviews coming, a lot more stuff coming. I do walking tour videos of Sacramento and hopefully other places soon. My next hotel review is, I'm not going to say where, but it's my favorite hotel in Sacramento, and it's going to be in about 3 weeks, so I'm really excited for that. And I appreciate you making it all the way to the end here, and hope that if you're planning on staying at the Midtowner that your hotel is nice, or your stay is nice. I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.